Most people think a high salary solves everything. They believe once they start earning well, life will finally feel stable, peaceful, even successful. And for a short time, it does. The first salary upgrade feels powerful. You feel in control. You feel like you've made it. You start thinking, now things will be different. But then something strange happens. Your income goes up, but your stress also goes up. Your lifestyle improves, but your peace disappears. You're earning more than ever, but somehow it still doesn't feel like enough. This is the trap of a good salary, bad life. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're trapped in it. They just think this is how life is supposed to feel. Let's break this down, because this trap is not about money. It's about how money silently reshapes your life. When your salary increases, your expectations increase faster. At first, you upgrade small things. Maybe you move to a better apartment. You start ordering food more often. You buy things you used to avoid. It feels like progress. But slowly, these upgrades stop feeling like luxuries and start feeling like necessities. That's where the trap begins. Because now you're no longer choosing this lifestyle. You're maintaining it, and maintaining is expensive. Now you don't just need money to grow, you need money to survive your own lifestyle. Think about that. Earlier, your income supported your life. Now, your life demands your income. And that's a very dangerous shift, because it removes freedom. You can't take risks. You can't slow down. You can't say no to things you don't like, because your entire system is built on maintaining a certain standard. So even if you hate your job, you stay. Even if you feel exhausted, you continue. Even if your life feels empty, you tell yourself, at least I'm earning well. That's the trap. A good salary starts controlling your decisions, not improving them. Now here's where it gets even deeper. When people start earning more, they don't just upgrade their lifestyle. They upgrade their identity. They start seeing themselves differently. They think, I'm someone who deserves better things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, this identity often gets tied to spending, not building. So instead of saying, I earn more so I'll build wealth, they say, I earn more so I'll live better. And those two paths lead to completely different lives. Living better gives you short-term satisfaction. Building wealth gives you long-term freedom. But most people choose the first one because it's visible, it's immediate, it feels rewarding, and your brain loves that. Every upgrade gives you a dopamine hit. New phone, better clothes, better experiences. For a moment you feel successful, but that feeling doesn't last, so you chase it again and again and again, until your entire life becomes a cycle of earning and spending just to feel okay. Not to grow, not to build, just to maintain a feeling, and that's exhausting. This is why so many people with good salaries feel stuck. They're not poor, but they're not free either. They're in the middle, a place where you have enough to survive comfortably, but not enough to escape the system. And this middle zone is the most dangerous place financially, because it creates the illusion of progress. You feel like you're doing well, but you're not actually moving forward. You're just running faster on the same treadmill. Now let's talk about something most people avoid: debt. When your lifestyle grows faster than your discipline, debt fills the gap. Credit cards, EMIs, buy now, pay later, it all looks manageable because your salary supports it. But what you don't realize is you're slowly selling your future income. Every EMI is a commitment to your past decisions. Every payment reduces your future freedom. And the more you earn, the more comfortable you become taking on these commitments, because you think, I can afford it. But affording something and sustaining it are two different things. Anyone can afford a luxury once. Very few can sustain it without stress. And stress is where the bad life begins. Because now your money is no longer creating peace, it's creating pressure. You wake up thinking about bills. You work thinking about responsibilities. You sleep thinking about what's next. And even when you take breaks, your mind doesn't. Because deep down, you know your lifestyle depends on constant income. So you can't stop, you can't pause, you can't breathe fully. This is why people with high salaries burn out faster. Not because they work harder,
but because they carry more invisible pressure. Pressure to maintain, pressure to perform, pressure to keep up. And this pressure doesn't just affect your finances, it affects your entire life, your relationships, your health, your mental peace. You start trading time for money at a higher rate, but you don't get time back. You just get better ways to spend the money. And slowly, your life becomes optimized for income, not for happiness. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. A good salary can actually delay real wealth because it hides bad habits. If someone earns less, they're forced to be careful. They think before spending. They avoid unnecessary risks. But when you earn more, you get careless. Mistakes don't hurt immediately, so they repeat. And over time, those small mistakes compound, not into wealth, but into dependency. You become dependent on your salary, not empowered by it. And that's a completely different game. Because if your income stops, your entire life shakes. That's not wealth. That's a well-paid trap. Now let's shift perspective. Imagine two people earning the same salary. One upgrades everything, lives comfortably, spends freely, feels successful. The other stays controlled, avoids unnecessary upgrades, builds assets, invests consistently, delays gratification. At first, the first person looks happier, more relaxed, more successful. But give it a few years. The second person gains something the first person doesn't. Options, freedom, control over time. And that's when the gap becomes visible. Because real wealth is not about lifestyle. It's about options, the ability to say no, the ability to pause, the ability to walk away. And a good salary alone cannot give you that. Only behavior can. Now you might be thinking, so what should I do? Stop enjoying life? No, that's not the point. The point is awareness, understanding the difference between spending to feel rich and building to become rich. One is temporary, the other is permanent. You don't need to remove enjoyment, you need to control it. You don't need to avoid upgrades, you need to earn them intelligently. You don't need to reject a good salary, you need to stop letting it control your life. Because money is a tool, and if you don't control the tool starts controlling you. So here's the shift that changes everything. Instead of asking, how can I live better with this salary? Start asking, how can I become free with this salary? That one question changes your decisions. It changes how you spend, how you save, how you invest, how you think. Because now you're not chasing comfort, you're building control. And control leads to freedom. Not immediately, not quickly, but eventually. And that's the difference between a good salary and a good life. A good salary gives you comfort. A good life gives you freedom. And if you don't understand this early, you can spend years earning well but living poorly. So if you feel stuck right now, if you're earning well but still feel pressure, if your life looks good from the outside but doesn't feel right from the inside, you're not alone. You're just in the trap, but now you can see it. And once you see it, you can start changing it, slowly, intentionally, one decision at a time. Because escaping this trap doesn't require more money. It requires a different mindset. And that mindset is what actually builds a life worth living.